Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports. This is a short video, an address video, a response video, however you want to look at it, but it's something that irked my spirit, and I thought I should get on it and stamp on it straight away because there's a small collection of people within YouTube that pop up in the comment section from time to time and like to give their feedback on things. And I do say that it's important that people do give feedback. I'm one that loves feedback, positive, constructive feedback, or even feedback that that other people can learn from and grow from, or even ask deeper questions. The whole setup and the whole point of BWTM Sports has always been about bringing up the best guests possible that are available, that are people that speak the truth, people who speak their mind, people who are honest, open, and that's always been what BWTM is about. We've had people come and go, but we've stayed the path. We've had people say what they want, we've stayed the path all the way. Now, criticism is one thing, no problems with it, and I stand by all the things I say. I don't say the things that I say just for the sake of saying them, or for sensationalism, or for views. That's not what it's been about. And we've had some, and we continue to get great names come on this channel and discuss the sport of boxing in a very in-depth way. And today, some of the guys we've got today have either been associated with the great Emmanuel Stewart, or have been the right-hand man to Emmanuel Stewart, or currently have undisputed unified champions in their gyms. So the people we have on the channel are world-class elite trainers. It's not my opinion, it's the facts, and they continue to be a part of BWTM Sports. 10 years plus we'll be doing this, and we're going to keep going. So I want to address a few things today because I feel that I should, and I feel that people should be very clued up and have better education as to what is going on and why I say the things I do. Not to justify the words of things that I do, but this is the BWTM universe, and we will do things our way. So the first thing I want to talk about is a comment I made on a previous video with Uncle Bashir. And I made the statement. Yes, Kenny, that's definitely happening sooner rather than later. I made the statement that Efa Ajagba should retire. And I'm sure if you're regular on the channel, you'll know one person by the name of Incognitio. He made the statement, he put the statement up, a comment. He went, you said Efa Ajagba should retire. And then Incognito went and said that I'm glad you're not his trainer. Some of the comments you make about boxers are undesirable. Okay, that was his statement, and he left. So that show was 2.5 hours long. It was 2.5 hours long, right? So it being 2.5 hours long, that was the only thing that was said. That's the first thing. So out the whole of that show, you pick up that one statement. One. The second thing in that show is Uncle James Adamshire turned around and said to me on that show, his own self, I know we had some audio issues, which we're going to fix. He said to me, I'm learning things from you. That's a great trainer. Turn around and saying to me, I'm learning things from you. I've known Uncle Bashir since 2013. We're now 2021. So you'd think you'd pick up a thing or two by having that relationship. That's on camera and off camera, and met him in person. And so this is not just a fly-by-night situation. So I'm being mentored by him all the time. Now, when I look at Efa Ajagba, I also, in my statement, likened Efa Ajagba to another African fighter that was from Poland and was Joseph Parker's, a teammate of Joseph Parker. Now, I know who that gentleman is now. I've got his name. And I believe It was Izu Ugano. Izu Ugano. A lot of people rating him up, and he was knocking guys out. And I can't remember. Let me get the fight. It was it against Dominic Brazil? I'm not sure. It might have been against Dominic Brazil. Yeah, Izu Ugano. Yeah, him. Let me get his name up again. So I was doing my research. Izu Ugano. You know, at one minute, at one thought we may thought he would be the next president. Izu Ugano. You know, had a Polish mixed martial artist, then he turned boxer, kickboxer. Ghanaian. Oh, he was born to Nigerian parents. Okay. He lost to Dominic Brazil in 2017. It was a great fight. Okay. In a real good fight against Ghana versus Brazil. That was the one. That's it. That's the one, James. That's the one. That fight there. So again, I'm drawing comparisons. I didn't just say he should retire. I'm drawing comparisons. I'm giving you the history. Our history. I'm looking at history. Ugano, I know he was a heavyweight, Nigerian heavyweight that was in Poland, and he was one of the best fighters, or rated as one of the best fighters around at the time. A lot of people had lots of expectations on him, right? And he got beat by Dominic Brazil in a great fight. But then I saw him lose again. I said, this guy needs to retire because he hasn't got, he's not got the heart. He doesn't want to be in boxing anymore. And I said it on the show. In fact, it's recorded. It was a live show. I said, this guy needs to retire. Soon enough, he retired. Now watch Efa Ajagba, right? And I'm talking it from, I'm not saying he should retire in a despicable or nasty way or wishing the guy bad. But I'm watching a guy walking around like a shell of himself, like a shadow of himself. Something's missing with the guy. And in heavyweight boxing, you need to have all your faculties in place, and you need to have, it's like when he first came out of Ajagba, he fought with such heart. Not to say he didn't fight with heart, he had a passion about him. There was real interest in Efa Ajagba. It just seems that Ajagba's performances have kind of stagnated and gone backwards. That's what I felt, my opinion. And there's something missing in him, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's emotional breakdown he's had. I don't know if he got knocked out in sparring. But what I see of Efa Ajagba, it did not. And then I saw it against Frank Sanchez. He didn't get knocked out by Frank Sanchez. He got dropped by Frank Sanchez. He got up, and he looked like he was just walking around with like he was in a maze, like he was in a daze. He didn't seem to a guy that had that passion. The biggest fight of his career, and he seemed like he was walking through like a daze. I had to explain this after it was on national television about Efa Ajagba, my thoughts on Efa Ajagba, right? And I said similar things. Now, I've got to do this. Excuse me a second. Right. Now, I said that, and I drew the comparisons to Ugano and Ajagba and what I'm seeing. Now, I'm saying if Efa Ajagba is going to carry on fighting like that, he needs to retire. Boxing is not a sport where you can have half your heart inside the ring and half your heart outside the ring. That's where you get badly hurt. And that's the reason why I said he needs to retire, Ajagba. Because if that's the way he's feeling, a lot of guys, and a lot of people don't understand this, when guys come from poorer countries like Africa or Cuba, and then they come to America where the bright lights are there, particularly if they go to places like Florida or Las Vegas, or the bright lights and the women and the little bit of money they get. The money is spent on women, they spend it on cars, they spend it on bling bling. They're in the clubs all the time, and they're literally spending their career away. So when it turns to them to buckle down and fight, there's a problem. There's a problem. So these guys never really reach and attain the position they really should be, because they've come to America, they've got the bright lights, they've got some money, they've come out of poverty. And some of the guys push on and do great things. They're the well-disciplined guys, but not everybody is that well-disciplined. And I'm saying if Efa Ajagba, right, has reached that point where he's got enough money to secure his family, he's got enough money, he's got investments outside of boxing, he doesn't need to continue boxing. That's what I'm saying, he should retire, right? That's the reason why I'm saying Efa Ajagba should retire. So when I get an idiot like Incognitio come on and tell me that my comments are undesirable, it's not about that. It's about understanding where these people are coming from, where they've got to, and potentially the distractions that come along the way to going on to be world heavyweight champion. If you've come from a place like Africa, if you're in America, even if you're in America, the bright lights, there are challenges there, and in the UK, the challenges there. There are guys that travel from the UK, go to America, and they get hit by the bright lights, and they can't perform. Okay, so I'd say to myself that when I look at Efa Ajagba, I'd see that in Efa Ajagba, did he get knocked out cold in sparring where he just can't seem to pull the trigger anymore? I don't know. Now, I'm not saying that Frank Sanchez is not a good fighter, because he is a good fighter. But I like to call things and look at things, mainly before they happen. So I've been in sport now 25 years, coaching at a very high level. And there are certain things about sports people across the board, in terms of mentality, in terms of approach. And at that stage, when at that level, it's not so much about their physical, it's about their mental approach. And I'm concerned for Efa Ajagba, and I've been saying this a while. So Frank Sanchez was not the guy that would expose that, because Frank Sanchez is a sniper. He's in and out. He's in and out. A man is going to stand there and put it on Ajagba. We'll see what he's got. He just seemed like he was in a daze. So that's the reason why I said Efa Ajagba should retire. Based on the fact of what I've known of fighters in the past that have gone abroad, based on the Izu situation and seeing a fighter who had potential but I thought was mismanaged, and based on the fact that seeing guys who haven't got the passion, the desire, and they're going to shell their fight safety first, and they don't care if they lose on points now, they just don't want to get knocked out like that. So those are my concerns right there for Efa Ajagba, and that's why I said what I said. And actually, Mr. Incognito, if he was my trainer, if I was his trainer, he wouldn't be fighting that way. If I would train Efa Ajagba, and he would not have fought Frank Sanchez if I were his trainer. So that's my response to you. And why he wouldn't have fight Frank Sanchez? Because Frank Sanchez is completely all wrong style for Efa Ajagba. I would have swerved that fight, because Frank Sanchez is one of the best heavyweights in the world, and he will, if he continues fighting the way he does, will become a heavyweight champion of the world. Make no doubt about it. So I wanted to put that out there, and I want to put this out here as well. There are people I notice across the YouTube universe that feel that because I talk regularly to them on YouTube, and I do shows and we talk, they find that it's also that they can abuse, and they can take this kindness for weakness, where they can come on and they can, when they're in the comment section, try and get smart and try and get clever. There was one guy who came on yesterday, so they set up new accounts and they come back again to start talking rubbish, right? So one guy came on and said, you're going to do membership, you're a con man, so I'm going to take you apart as well. I said, I'm not sure how you can call someone a con man with a name called Wishing Well and have 8 or 9 or 10 accounts. That's not even genuine. And the second thing is, how many channels do you know that have world-class trainers that you can sit down and talk to directly And then we're going to do a folding with it directly on a regular basis you can learn from. How many channels do you know out there? It's just one guy sitting down, just talking. Never been in a boxing gym, never had a fight in their life, never been punched in the mouth. But they're talking. And they're part of the propaganda and they're working with promoters. So I'm not really, there we go. Same guy again. So for me, you have to understand, this is the BWTM universe. I keep saying it. I'm not following anybody. We are not following anybody. We lead and we do our own thing. We're not interested in the views and the subscriber base because those in the know what's going on. So we're not worried about that. We're here to inform. We're here to give you, bring the world closer to you, to bring those great trainers on the channel so that you can learn more about the sport of boxing from guys who've been in the sport and have created world champions. 35 world champions. Stacey McKinley. Worked with Mike Tyson. Worked with Lennox Lewis. Worked with Vladimir Klitschko. James BASHIR. Now working with Vlad Tsarenko, who hasn't had any. Vlad Tsarenko, nobody wanted to know about Vlad Tsarenko. Now he's 18-0. He's now about to go and fight, I believe, I think it's Marius Vac he's fighting next. So I don't feel I have to justify anything I'm saying. But I do feel I have to educate. And Mr. Incognito, because of what you said, I have now removed you in the comment section because as far as I'm concerned, the tone and way you put your message towards me, I don't need it. I don't want to get up in the morning and read comments like that from you. All right? So you no longer have the privilege, and it is a privilege to be in the comment section. You've been removed. So it's as simple as that. Because I don't need to be getting up in the morning and reading garbage like that. It's ungrateful, and a lot of people in boxing, I have to say, are ungrateful. So that's my rant of the day, and putting it as it is. Like it, lump it, don't care. Subscribe, unsubscribe, dislike the video, like the video, don't care. I'm not about that. You understand? You liking or disliking the video doesn't change my life. You understand? I'm still going to say what I'm going to say. I'm still going to do what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 10 years now, so that's what I think. So, yep, just going for the comments now. So Uncle Bashir say he's learning things. He really does say something. Even the greatest are humble and still learning things every day. That's a sign of a great trainer. I tell you, if I wasn't in the sport that I was in at the moment, creating history, which I created history over the weekend, but that's another story. If I wasn't in the sport where I am, trying to achieve great things, when I say trying, because I'm not alone in it, and we will do great things. If I wasn't caught in that sport, I'd be in the boxing world today as a trainer. I'm telling you now, but I have to bide my time. Ajagba fought like a stiff upright Nigerian soldier. Well, he did, and I feel sorry for him. One of the best fights to make in recent memory, then got smashed by Rodonsky. That's what I'm saying to you. Well, I said that's why he should retire, because I thought, this guy, and afterwards he retired. We never saw him again. FA found some days are rough, some days are tough, and he wasn't thrilled about it. I like that one. I like that one, Joe. TNT TV, big up. So you like the TNT, eh? James, you like the TNT? You like that, huh? Based on the analysis, it's fair to say AJ should retire as well. The comparisons are basically the same. See what I see of AJ, sadly, is I can see him ending up like David Price. I can see him, if he gets knocked out and beaten, I can see him eventually being thrown in scraps to come on and replace him. Why he signed that lifetime contract seems more sinister to me than anything else. I can't work it out yet, but a lifetime contract. So if you get beat by, imagine you get knocked out by Usyk, and then you have to go and fight Deontay Wilder, and then you have to fight Tyson Fury. AJ, as far as I'm concerned, he needs to come off the conveyor belt of fights He needs to come off that belt of current fights. He needs to remodel himself, and longevity in the sport, he needs to make himself, it's longevity. Hearn and Matchroom do not give you longevity in the sport. They don't give you longevity. They will burn you out quick because it's fight. Look at Dillian White. Fight after fight, pay-per-view after pay-per-view, hard fight after hard fight. Look at Cheeseman now. Cheeseman is your perfect example of a lack of longevity. Look at how Cheeseman ended up the other day against Williamson. You can't keep having fights like over and over again. It's not good. It's entertaining for the fans, but for the boxer, the longevity is not good. Yeah, you're getting paid, but every time you take in fights, it's another 5 years off your career. But you look at someone like Bernard Hopkins, how he can fight for as long as he could. Longevity. And fans don't look at that. So I could see AJ end up on a scrap heap afterwards, and there'll be a new guy. It's all about you. When you look at it in the cold light of day, boxers are just bodies used for entertainment and getting paid. And it'll just be another body thrown to one side, and the next fight will come on like a conveyor belt. So if AJ wants longevity, he needs to get a trainer that's going to stop him taking big, heavy blows. Much like Deontay Wilder. You need to learn how to stop absorbing them big shots. You can't keep having your brain getting rattled like that. It's not good. James says, hey, a wise man once said, give a man some success and you'll see his true self. There you go. I'm good, my brother. I'm very good. BG London says, Frank Sanchez was terrible at matchmaking. I said that immediately when it got announced. Well, you know, I mean, I didn't really study Frank Sanchez that much. I didn't pay much attention to the fight until I saw Frank Sanchez in the ring. I started seeing he's a Cuban fight. He does this, he does that. And I started seeing moves. I said, uh-oh. It's a joke that chucking abuse at people they don't know is a hobby to these guys. Imagine they're dedicated all the time to something worthwhile. I know, and it's not acceptable, and I won't accept it. And I've lost good friends in boxing because of the abuse. Won't stand for it. Don't care who you are. Yes, salute to you, brother. Cricket people are better. Ha! You'd be surprised, brother. You'd be surprised. Okay, moving on. The matching way. Sweat the asset. Yeah, so, you know, I think I broke down why I think if Efa, and I've seen the word if Efa Ajagba has got business outside the ring and he has, if you go to America, you make money, your family, like, here's this. Not everybody's at top level. It's not the same, right? So some guys in sport, they want to just secure their family, make sure their family's secure. You know what I mean? They're from poverty, and all they want to do is secure their family. You understand? And if they do anything more than that, that's brilliant. And then there are other guys that securing their family is the first thing, but it's not the only thing. They say, yeah, I want to secure my family, but I must become a world champion. And then there are other guys that say, you know what? I just want to secure my family. And secure my family, and I'm fine with that. And I want to invest in other businesses. You understand? And there are guys that are like that, and that's fine, not a problem. Coming from poverty and put yourself in a good position, that's fine. And fans don't know that. It's only when they make their moves afterwards, you know. Like you see these guys got investments here, investments there. And you say, all right, let me see how far I can go with this. Let me see. All right, so I've won a title here, and I've secured my family there. Let me see what I can do here. And they push a little bit more. You know? I mean, once Tony Benny said, oh, I only want to become a British champion. He went on to become a world champion because they're inspired by the first title they get. So some guys are like that. Some guys that I'm just here for the money. And I get that. I understand it. So not everybody that is in that top 10 has the ambition to really want to become a world champion. It shows in their training. Some people want to do it for stardom. There's a heavyweight that I know very, 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 very well, right? And there's a few heavyweights I know very well. But this particular heavyweight had everything on their plate for them. Literally everything on their plate for them. But their mindset wasn't about becoming heavyweight champion of the world. Because ego, wanted ego, attention, being in the limelight. It's me, look here, me. So that was more important. Being in the parties, walking around in the club, I'm Mr. Big Man. That was what they were seeking for. But when it came to them in the ring actually having to fight, they couldn't fight. They couldn't deliver. Because outside the ring was more important to them than inside the ring. So it's mental setup. So if there are some fighters in the world that are lacking that sort of go-gets, like really want to go for it, sometimes it's because their mindset is, you know what? I've got the money to get my mum a house. I've got the money to get my family out of that town. They're secured now. They're settled. They're sorted. Look at someone like Adrian Broner when he started out and how he is and how he is now. He's a free-weight world champion, made a lot of money, but wayward. So what's all that about? So it's a complex thing, and sometimes you're getting deep. No, it is what it is. Different people have different ambitions and they're different characters. So when I say Efa Ajagba should be all the reasons why, if those are the things there as well. So I just thought I'd add that to the mix. Ingram is HC. Sorry about what I said when Wilder lost. I was excited and should have known. Sorry, bro, for storming in like that. That's not a problem. It's not a problem. I don't know why you're firing me. Like people are like, Wilder lost, and they come to me. I'm like, well, hold on a second. I never called this the Deontay Wilder channel. Yes, I'm black, but I didn't call it the Deontay Wilder channel. So I was like, when I made my point of it, I said, I'm not making any predictions for this fight. The fight is too toxic. And I said that. And I said the person that wins this fight is the person that can back the other one to the ropes. Where did Deontay Wilder get knocked out? Was it not by the ropes? Was it not by the ropes? I said footwork is key for this fight. I don't worry about that, bro. Empty apology above, not good enough. Frank Sanchez is a hand for everyone. 200 amateur fights, well-skilled boxer. Stevie Wonder and Sort are coming. Top rank, don't give a damn. PBC was better fit for Ajagba. Empty apology, be quite casual. Because where would AJ be if he did beat Charles Martin? He was number 2 in the WBC one. Always wondered. Good question. So my point is this. Because people say, oh, well, you know, I want to become a world champion. Do we believe them? Some people I believe, but some people I don't. And I'm always, and even more so now, fighters that come from poor countries and they go to America or they go to American gyms, I always think to myself, are they able to cross over and deal with the cultural differences, avoid the bright lights and all the distractions, and focus on becoming a champion? And not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. Oh, by the way, I want to make a comment. I want to talk about Anthony Joshua as well. I saw a video clip of Anthony Joshua with this guy, and he was throwing some punches like with this guy. And I think to myself, why are you doing this? Why are you making yourself look so bad? Why are you not getting yourself a trainer of heavyweight quality, especially in heavyweight? I don't want to see AJ with no young boy. I don't want to see any AJ with no young trainers. I don't. I want to see AJ with an old school trainer And somebody made a very valuable point, whether AJ and his hangers-ons and AJ, would an American trainer stand for that nonsense? I don't think they would. There's no way I could see AJ walking into the James Allen BASHIR boxing gym with him and all his hangers-ons and their media. I don't think you have it. Because the American trainer will say, I don't, what the experienced ones, I don't want no videos going out. I don't want you doing media, all these sort of media commitments. I don't want that. I don't want you going out to all these outings and showing your face here and everywhere. That shit has got to stop. We've got a big fight coming up. So that stuff's got to stop. So an American trainer will not give a damn about AJ, the brand. And that's where a problem may come in. Because AJ is a brand. A lot of the other guys are just boxers. He's a brand. And he's a failing brand. He's a brand that's is failing. You know, you had the loss to Ruiz, and then the kind of unsatisfactory rematch. Then you had the Pulev fight, and then you had this fight now with Usyk. It's a brand. It's not just a box, it's a brand. And that's the problem. AJ is a brand. So whoever the trainer is going to have to understand the brand. That was Angel Boxall, a trainer he already has. AJ needs to go to America for 2 months in a rough American gym, but I guess it's too late now. All these young Americans will stick it on him. Yeah, of course they will. Of course they'll stick it on him. That's what I'm saying. But now they might stick it on him, but that's down to the trainer now. That's down to the trainer. Because nobody can just stick it on AJ like that. That's a reckless trainer. You remember when Amir Khan was about to fight Garcia, and I remember watching Khan training, and he looked absolutely awful in Freddie Roach's gym. He looked absolutely awful. And then he had the press conference inspired. He had the press conference. Every time I see sparring, he's you're going to get yourself knocked out. Then he'll say, oh, I'm going to knock out Danny Garcia. I remember it, and I ran straight. As soon as he said that, after that press conference, I ran down to the bookie. I put £100 on that fight. I knew Khan was going to get knocked out. Now, I don't know how many times AJ's been knocked out in sparring, but it's been too many times for my recollection, from what I've heard. And that should be happening in a gym. Why is it every time AJ seems to be sparring, Joey DeWake ended up knocking him out in sparring, so I understand. Why is that always happening? And is Rob McCracken to blame for that? I'm only asking questions, I don't know. But I know for a fact that how BASHIR's sparring sessions would go, considering the fact that Serenko got sparring with Stavern, Joyce, what's his name? What's the guy there? Tall South African as well. What do you think of White forcing rematch clause with Wallin? No belt is on the line. Do you think it's harmful for the sport? Very voluntary defense of world title should be rematch clauses. I think it's something in the sport that needs to be gotten rid of. I really do. Because, you see, rematch clause means another pay-per-view. Another pay-per-view. So, I believe Dillian White's going to win the fight against Otto Wallin. He has to close the range down quickly, put Wallin's back against the ropes, and let that left hook go. Yeah, I believe he's got to keep Wallin close. He's got to get Wallin into a fight. He's got to get Wallin. He's got to close the range down, walk Wallin down, close the range down quickly, get on his chest and fight him. He's got to brawl with Wallin. But I don't know. I really don't know. AJ was training in the area where Nipsey Hussle and Tupac was killed. Next day, he's posting videos of him posing like a cancer at a shooting range. Seems to be off color to me. I'm not sure why. Because he left his own devices. AJ doesn't have what they had in the 80s and the 90s. He had handlers. What basically meant is wherever you went, there was a guy that was looking after you. Now, that's why in some ways I like Tunde Ajayi, because he's like an old school trainer. People mock Tunde Ajayi. Wherever Anthony Yard is, Tunde Ajayi is right next to him. And that's what a real trainer should be doing, a mentor. Wherever your fighter is, you're right there with them. Yeah, but it's not the responsibility of the trainer. Oh, damn well, yeah, it is. That's an investment. You know what I mean? You know, I remember my trainer, I had to be, and he trained Steve Robinson, and he trained Barry Jones. And I had to be in bed by 9 o'clock, lights out. And if I was going to the toilet, my trainer was outside the toilet. If I was at my workplace, my trainer would be outside. He'd be sitting in the bar. Do you understand? That's that sort of professional. As far as I can start my professional career. That is the sort of mentality these trainers have. It's different today, but I do truly believe, truly believe that trainers, mentors need to be with their fighters. After visit Paxton Memorial, oh dear. Is the tag rematch room fair for Matchroom? I'd like to say it is. Yeah, it is. I called it rematch room for years. In my opinion, if Wallin beats White, does he need to beat him again, or is there only a trinket of belt on the line? I don't know. We will see Wallin beat White again. I don't know. I want to rematch room. That's what it is. Having an immediate rematch clause for every fight, including mandatories, tarnishes AJ's career. Well, Lennox Lewis had rematches. And he won every. AJ's won every rematch. But I think there should be trilogies. If you're going to have a rematch, then these fighters will have rematches. They'll say this. All right, here's this. If you beat me in the rematch, I want a trilogy. I want my chance. Because I've given you a chance. You need to give me a chance. And they should be trilogies if it's going to go that way. AJ's Suburban King. He's no Nipsey. LOL. Sanction bodies need to remove belt from rematches, and then next person ranks get it. You have to have a rematch, but belt not be on the line. I think that's an excellent point. Totally agree with you on that as well. If both agree, then fine. That's their fault. It's true. I agree with you there. I totally agree with you there. I'd like to know your thoughts on David Price. David Price was horribly managed, but David Price did himself no favors. Now, this is coming from Tommy Brooks, and you can check the interview out on the channel. Tommy Brooks, a top trainer. Worked with Evander Holyfield and many other great heavyweights. Now, Tommy Brooks said, David Price, I'd give him one thing to do. I'd leave him, and I'd come back, and he'd be doing something else. Tommy Brooks also said of David Price, that he really wanted to stay at home. So here's an example of sort of things. I was talking to fighters' desires. Lennox Lewis wanted to take Price to Canada and train in Canada, but Price didn't want to leave Liverpool. Price, in my humble opinion, should have gone to the Klitschko camp. He was getting beaten up regularly in sparring by Kubrat Pulev. Price should have gone to the Klitschko camp. But I don't think Price had the self-belief that he would ever become a heavyweight champion of the world. Because if he did, I believe his career would operate differently. Price's career, the problem with Price happened in the Matt Skelton fight. Go back to the Matt Skelton fight. Right there, where Skelton was so easy, it was so easy for Skelton to get onto Price's chest. And I remember people laughing at me when I said Augie Harrison would beat David Price because he was a lefty. And I thought a lefty would beat him. Well, so happened, Augie didn't do the job because he wasn't organised. It so happened that Tony Thompson beat David Price. David Price needed stability. He didn't have stability. And of course, Frank Maloney now, can't remember what her name is now. But yeah, Frank Maloney had his own personal issues going on, fainting and stuff. That was very unsettling. I don't know why Price took that fight on Tony Thompson. Apart from at that time, I remember doing the interview with Price of Franny Smith, and that's a while back. I don't really want to go into the details of all that because it pissed off Team Fury. But the thing is, Tyson Fury on a collision course. I really think that David Price should have gone to the Klitschko's. Did Lennox get a rematch, an immediate rematch? Lennox had to go for the courts, remember? Babic versus Molina. Molina is heavy-handed, he can punch. But Molina's got two. You know what Molina's going to turn up in a fight. If Molina turns up and his back foot touches the ropes within the first 30 seconds, Molina's getting knocked out. If Molina comes forward, he's a heavy-handed puncher. I know people who sparred with Molina, he can punch. I would like to see Molina land on Babic. I'd like to see that. Vlad would have ruined Price if they spar regularly. No, I thought Vlad had a reputation of bashing up sparring partners for confidence. No, that's not quite true. That's not true. I believe Vlad was, listen, you got to remember that Vlad was sparring guys, all the guys I see, just in case he had to fight him. So he was sparring Joshua, White, he sparred Usyk, but more in his prime, like it was for Joshua, White, Hunter, what's this guy, British heavyweight champion at one point? Hugh beat him as well. Sam Sexton, Big Baby Miller was in that camp as well. There were a lot of guys in that camp around that time. Those camp would have been perfect for Jay Price because he would have learned how to set up a proper professional heavyweight camp. 1, 2, and he would have learned with Vladimir. He would have learned with Vladimir. He would have been part of Vladimir's team, so Vladimir would have been trying to knock him out. Molina would pick around and fall to the floor. Babic would get schooled by George Fox. I remember George Fox was still amateur. That's the son of Don Charles. Good fighter. Good fighter. 100% worth a watch. Oh, by the way, if somebody wants to watch something that's interesting coming up, just for old schoolers, James Toney is going to be fighting, I heard he's fighting again against Jeremy Williams. Just something to watch. Yeah, George Fox is capable. He's talented. We just got to see how they manage his career and what it's decisions they make. A fighter can be very talented, but it's who he's with and how they manage their careers and what they want to achieve in the sport. Remember, your aspiration for a fighter might be, I want to see him fight for the heavyweight championship world. His aspiration might be, I just want to win a European heavyweight championship. So it's interesting. George Fox is a good fighter. Right. I don't know if there's anything else I really want to talk about. I hope I covered those areas there. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Yard versus, what's his name? Arthur. The rematch is due soon. And I'm looking forward to that fight as well. A lot of big fights come soon. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you so much as always for your support. Don't forget to subscribe, leave your comments, and smash the like. Oh, I should talk about it before I go. What did you hear about the dessert? I know, Dead Zone. Well, I'm not paying for that, but I'll be watching it. I'll be watching the fight, but I ain't paying for it. What happened to Ryan Charlton? Again, poor matchmaking. That fight was for that guy for Liverpool. That was poor matchmaking. Ryan needs. I think I can manage Ryan Charlton and do a better job, right? He needs guys that are going to come forward to him in certain type of fights. But I asked Ryland, if you go back and listen to my interview with him, I asked him, what's the landscape? What is Eddie Hearn's vision for you? It seems to me that Ryland Charlton is someone else's stepping stone. It wasn't the fight that Ryland was going to win. I did. He was going to win. You know, so it's because Ryland will fight anybody. So certainly when I get to talk to him again, he needs to. That was a wrong fight for him. Wrong fight for him. Real wrong fight for him. But he can come back and learn. Come back and learn, and the right fights now. Let's see, he gets the right fights. Guys are going to come forward and have a fight where he can land them big bombs. That's why I think you're going to see the best of Ryland Charlton. Takes a good shot, gets hit with one too many, but he wants to fight. But the perplexing thing about that Ryland Charlton fight was he stepped on the gas too late. I don't know if it's because of experience. Probably is. He only had a handful of fights. So, it was I like the fight. I like the fight. But I'd like to see Ryland fight guys now. He's been in 2 good fights. I'd like to see him now fight guys that come to him and let him throw his punching power and get into knockouts. That's what I'd like to see Ryland Charlton. So, let me get out of here now. Thank you so much. This show's gone a little longer than I thought it would do. But thank you so much. I appreciate you as always. This is BWTM Sports. Keeping it real with you all the time. See you soon.